bike?
Yeah, is that a pilot?
Go home with your hatchets and everything else. Ready now, you know.
Yo, and welcome back to NNKH2, where we are doing another fast-paced, transparent review video. This one on the DYU King 750 that was sent to me. A lot of these electric bikes look very similar, but they're not. The frames are always different. They have different components. And anyway, we'll just jump right into this one. I mean, it came packaged very nicely. See all the packaging material over there. I inspected it, didn't find any damages at all. The welds look nice and tight, beefy frame, big old battery compartment on there. So hoping to get some good range out of this one. And let's briefly touch on some of the specs, give you assembly tips, and then go do some riding, see what it's all about. So you got a 750 watt rear hub motor combined with the 7-speed Shimano gear set, 26x4 tubed fat tires. You got hydraulic disc brakes on the front and rear. These are 180 millimeter rotors. Beefy looking front forks that have adjustable preload and a lockout on the right side. You spin that, it locks them. Turn it here and you have suspension. This bike's got an advertised max load of 330 pounds and she weighs around 97 pounds. 80-mile range they're calling it, but that's with power assist, so that's going to vary big time depending on how much pedal assist you're putting in. The throttle only mode, they're advertising 53 miles I saw on the website. All of that with the help of the built into the frame 48 volt LG battery. It's a 20 amp hour battery. The charger that comes with it has an input of anywhere from 100 to 240 volts and an output of 54.6 volts at 3.0 amps. They're advertising 6 to 7 hours charge time from a dead battery. Now for that 53-mile max range test, you guys know usually we see around half that, but sometimes I see a lot less. So I mean, hopefully we'll see around 25 if we're lucky. I think the only time you'd see 53 is if you're going slow speed and maybe you're like only 60 pounds or something. But if you're 180 like me or higher, the range is going to dramatically drop. The heavier you get, the more windy it is, the taller you are, whatever. A lot of variables, hills, all that stuff. Hopefully we get some good numbers out of this one, because so far I'm liking what I see. Now for charging the battery, it's always going to be your first step. You can charge it with it in the frame, or go ahead and insert your key, which these came tied on the bar, and turn it, drops down a little bit, and you just twist that, quarter turn, and boom, there's the battery. Aluminum case on it, and it has a built-in meter. Right now we're showing full charge, but I'm still going to go put this on the charger and fully juice it up. If it's below freezing out, make sure you warm your battery up inside first before putting it on the charger. And here's a look at everything else in the box. You get a nice flick bell, your right and left aluminum pedals, tools for putting everything together, the rear reflector, a kickstand, a seat post that has a shock built in, and a nice cushion for your tushy, and an instruction manual, which I will go through at the end of this video. I always try to put the pictures of that in. So bolt your kickstand on by positioning it behind and screwing it on, and snug those down using the 5mm Allen. Now on the front wheel, spin both of the nuts pretty much all the way out. Make sure these center nuts are snug and that the axle's sticking out the equal distance on both sides. You might want to prop the bike up or have somebody help you, but remove this dummy axle that's just in here to prevent the front forks from getting bent. They stud to keep in your toolkit somewhere, and pull the cardboard out that was in between the brake pads, and make sure when you're sliding this on that the disc goes in between the brake pads properly. Of course, these washers want to be on the outside. And tighten both sides down evenly using the 15mm supplied wrench or a socket. And I forgot to mention, but before you tighten those nuts, just make sure that axle's fully seated in the forks, because you don't want it to be offset. Now once it's tightened down, you can make sure the wheel still spins freely and that the rotor is straight, not rubbing on the brake pads in a weird fashion or anything. Righty-tighty for the right pedal, and lefty-tighty on the left pedal. The 15mm wrench doesn't really fit on this nut just because of the paint on there, so you might have to hammer it in place because the paint's a little bit thick. Snug them down. Slide the reflector on the seat post, which I did have to cut about half of this plastic insert out to be able to get it to work. Slide that up, and some people might not like this shock built in the seat because that you can't lower the seat down quite as far if you're a shorter person. I'll leave it right about here. If when you clamp it down you can still spin the seat, or it's loose, then of course loosen this, spin this nut down a little bit tighter. Loosen the two 5mm up here, spin your bar clamp forward, and then remove the 4mm, and spin the bars up, drop them into place. Make sure you have them, so the cables aren't all twisted up. Might have to play around a little bit with it. Here's a look at the final bar fitment. Make sure they're centered side to side and positioned where you like them. Snug down these two 5mm evenly back and forth. That way you get even clamping force. Same when you're tightening these. Go cross, back and forth. I did need to break out a 3mm Allen to snug down these for your display. These are plastic clamps holding it on. Would rather see aluminum, but you know, they seem to be okay for now. Let's not forget the bell. Not the most high-end bell I've seen, but it works. Since we got hydraulic brakes, shouldn't be any adjustments necessary. Oh, those both feel great. This is your twist throttle on the right. Nice action there. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're missing a front fender. All right, we're a couple weeks later now. I'm over here in Croydon, and I heard back from the company. It turns out these don't come with a front fender. So I just bolted that light on there. Good to go. And we're gonna take a ride from here. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so it should be kind of cool. Head into Philly a little bit and then meet up with Jen later. Just pulled the battery off the charger from a 70-degree house. It's 45 outside in the evening now. Let's fire this up. Ooh, I like the display. First time I've seen this style. It's showing 5 bars on the battery. Last one's red. It's in kilometers. Let's see if we can get that switched over. It comes on power assist 1. You got plus, negative right here to switch that. I'll press it up. There's 2, 3. Only goes up to power assist 3. Interesting. I haven't read the manual. I always just hop on and go. There it is, got it to miles an hour. All you do is hold this plus and negative together, and that gets you into the P menu. I assume this is the low voltage, 48 volts, but again, that'll all be in the manual. But if you go to P02, if you put this on 01 instead of 0, then that's going to be miles an hour. And then you just hold both these again to get back to the main display. And we're off in power assist 1. Here goes the power kicking in. Bike tracks nice and straight. When you stop pedaling, the power immediately cuts off, which is nice. Sometimes these have a pretty big delay. I gotta say though, I don't like that you can't go to power assist 0. So if you want to just pedal this bike normally, well, I guess you could just power the display off, but then you're not going to, yeah, I mean, you could do that, but then you're not gonna have a speedometer or be able to track your miles, which is kind of inconvenient. So in power assist 1, just rotate the pedals, you get 15 miles an hour out of it. And I did start my run, by the way, so we'll be able to see how accurate the odometer is on here. If we go to speed 2, abruptly kicks in, and I'm not really giving it any power. I'm just kind of rotating those pedals. That brings us up to 22 miles an hour. Just rotate the pedals and put it up one more to power assist 3. Not giving it any pedal input besides rotating them. And actually that's still holding about 22 or so. Let's see if I pedal though. Oh yeah, it goes faster on power assist 3 if you apply some pedal input. That brings us up to 28 miles an hour. However, if I start just rotating my pedals, it's going to drop the speed. So it is waiting to feel input power instead of just rotational, which is kind of new. I've never seen that on these hub motors. Usually if you're rotating the pedals, it just brings you to the max speed. The next question is going to be on power assist 1. Let's try out that throttle. Here's a full acceleration, 0 pedaling, which by the way, this whole ride, we're not going to be pedaling. We're just going full battery power. I might rotate the pedals a little bit. That brings us up to that 17 miles an hour. Hit plus. So now we're on speed 2. Let's see where that brings us. Cuts us out at the 22, 23 mile an hour. One more. And oh yeah, full acceleration going on. So that should bring us up to about 28. There it is, just over 28 miles an hour. No pedaling, just holding that hand throttle, which on our GPS is indicating a true 28 mile an hour. Let's try out this suspension on some gravel, bumpy stuff. Oh yeah, soaks it right up like nothing. Especially those fat tires just really soak up the bumps. I could probably stand to tighten the preload on the front forks a little bit. Let's go ahead and do braking from max speed. Oh yeah. So the brakes work good. And at this point, I'm gonna just hold the throttle down and make some headway. I'll let you guys know how it works out or if any problems or any good sights to see. Oh, and just touching on the gearing real quick. So we're in the top gear, number 7. In power assist 2, you're not pedaling too fast and you have the power meter on the left. So see if I pedal real hard, that you can get that down to 0 and try to hold it there. It honestly is a perfect balance of power assist and pedal. But if I go up to power assist 3, we want to try to hold 28 while giving it power. Let's see. I mean, while giving it pedal assist, should I say. At that 28 miles an hour, you can still input pedal assist, but you're just rotating pretty darn fast. You're not really going to be able to, you can hold 28. It's just, you're rotating those legs really, really fast to do that. It is a gloomy winter day. Starting to feel a little drizzle too. Little spritz. Welcome to Philadelphia. Kind of sticking down here on River Road or State Road, whatever you want to call it. Because they got a good bike lane, not too many traffic lights. I can hold speed. To turn your headlight on, you simply hold the positive button and then you'll see that come on. Kind of a shame it doesn't have a tail light, and I'm sure it has cruise control, but we'll have to look into the manual later for that because it's going to be in your P settings to turn that on or off. Let's take a little side detour through the park. And everybody's got this idea that Philly's like full of trash and disgusting, but there's nice stuff here. Look at this. Like that kid might have been playing Pokemon, I'm not sure. Got a nice bridgeway. Get a little bit of everything. Looks like it gets muddy here on the trail. Not today so much. Oh yeah! All right. Good thing we got the fat tires with suspension. Skinnies would be sinking in some of that. So you can actually take this all the way up. It's pretty neat. But we're gonna get back on the street here. Just hit the 10.1 mile mark, and on Map My Run we're at 10.44. That's pretty rare. Usually these indicate a lot more than what you actually did, but it's actually quite the opposite in this case. You see we still got 5 bars on the battery, so I'm gonna keep on trucking, see how far we make it. Got some cover from the rain, the L above us. And then this is kind of the not good part. Yeah, street cookout. Smells like burning trash. across these tracks, it's like totally different neighborhood. It's certainly much cleaner on this side of the tracks. People live right next to the L like that. That would drive me crazy with the train going by constantly. So I'm kind of just cruising around, you know, with this rain and cold February weather. Not a ton of people outside. And yeah, just racking the miles up. We're over 17 miles, and so it's showing 4 bars when we stop, but we're down to 2 bars while riding. So I should probably start making my way back a little bit. Otherwise, we'll be taking the train. It's a big day for Philly, though. It's Super Bowl, you know. I mean, it doesn't come on for another hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, but it should be a fun night. And I gotta say, if you ever wanted to go explore a city, electric bike is amazing. Well, regular bicycle is good too, but electric bike just gets it done. Just cruising. Sunday school. We got a pretty good incline right now. It's holding its speed around 17 miles an hour up that, no problem. Pretty steep incline here too. Let's see if it holds its speed. Yeah, dropping, but fairly steep grade. Now with nightfall setting in, come back through this McPherson Square Park heading toward the river. And you know, this place is kind of, you come here during the summer, it's really not a good place to be, ever for that matter, but it's like they got the kids playground right there. It'll be kids out here playing in the grass, and then I mean you look on the ground pretty much anywhere and you see hypodermic needles. I don't know if you guys can see them at all, but you know, if you look on the benches you'll see them, or right down below. That one has a bent tip just sticking up, you know, somebody steps on that. It's really I mean, they do clean it up here sometimes, but it's terrible to see children playing right next to that, you know. Honestly, lucky I don't get a flat tire from a needle. I see a lot on the ground. How much was your bike? How much you got? Nah, it's too cheap. And here we are. Stop in for a quick brew at the Good Time Tavern and then make way home. Still showing 2 bars.
Is that an e-bike?
Yeah. Is that a pile in the bucket?
Huh?
Is that a pile in that bucket? That's what I was looking at. That's what it looks like.
It is too.
It looks like somebody took a big old, I'm tying my bike up. Hey, welcome to Philly. I got the bike chained up here right next to this bucket with a pile of dookie in it. Look at that.
Yeah, just falls off that. It's like 5th and 4th. Between 4th and 5th and Dolphins.
Let's
Go home with your hatchets and everything else, because we got the championship.
This place is always turnkey with the good food. They got it going on. All right, we are back out on the street. Got the Indigo bikes and 16 miles to go till Croydon. Let's see if we make it. I suppose we'll make a left on Aramingo and just kind of take her easy. Look at this, nice path onto I-95. I remember when they started building this and I was like, man, they're really lighting that up good. Makes sense, but now they got a sweet little bike path through it. And by the way, our trip has reset when we turned the bike off. So We're only at 0.6 miles now, but our odometer showing 25, and we started at 1 mile, so that's 24 miles we're at. Yeah, let's get trucking, go meet up with Jen. And we just dropped down to 1 bar, starting to lose a little power, only holding around 18 mile an hour on the Power Assist 3. Now down to the 1 red bar, and she has slowed to a crawl, only doing like 5 mile an hour. So I went to the nearest train station, Bridesburg, take this back up to Croydon, and then make it over to meet Jen. Yeah, could have kept going, but maybe a half mile more. It was just crawling. But 28 miles, I mean, hey, can't argue with that. So apparently the outbound train has been canceled. Here goes the Amtrak. Well, sitting here, and about 10 minutes past when the train should be here, and it's not here, and just looked up, says it's canceled. Which is a bummer, because it's about 15 miles still back to Croydon, and that's probably about an hour ride. Whew, man, I guess that's the only option. All right, good luck to you guys. Hope the train comes, fingers crossed. I'm gonna start pedaling.
Yabba dabba damn! Yabba dabba damn!
Well, the battery's dead, so it's just, now it's just...
pedal charge that thing?
Oh, no train, huh? What a darn bummer, I tell you. Pedal this heavy slug back to Croydon. 15 miles later, made it back to Croydon. That was absolutely brutal on this heavy bike. I mean, I was just in first gear the whole time, trying to keep 11, 12 mile an hour. It's just terrible. Thing's a heavy slug with no power.
It's ready now, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Oh my God!
Hey.
You made it!
How are you?
Oh, you're all wet!
Yeah. I'll do a Coors Light, please. I made it back to this girl. How's the game going? Eagles 27 and 21.
For this very reason.
That's it. Tough loss for the Eagles. Back home next day, ready to close this video out on the DYU electric bike. Did want to mention a little giveaway. I don't know if we have any Eagles fans watching. It was a tough loss last night, but hey, there's always next year. I got 6 of these little towels from the Good Time Tavern in Philly, and you know, kind of like a little authentic thing. So if you guys are an Eagles fan and you want one, just drop a comment down below, and the first 6 people I will I'll give you my email, and I'll send that out to you with a couple stickers too, maybe. So I know it's not much, but when those are gone, I'll update the description if they're gone. We'll see how many Eagles fans there are. Anyway, so final closeouts on this. I was definitely impressed with the range of 28 miles. You know, if I was pedaling, I'm sure we could have doubled that, but was just doing a full electric, full speed the whole time on Power Assist 3. And some of the things I don't like, as I said before, I can't believe it doesn't come with a rear light on it. The front was fine for seeing at night, but just riding home in the dark and the rain with no light on the back, and you got the reflector, but I didn't like that. This seat, I don't like that it has the shock built into it, because I felt like it was just kind of staying in one position, then randomly it would pop up, and it's kind of like sticky in the tube. And also you end up getting a lot of side-to-side play in these shocks as they get worn out. So not a big fan, but you can always switch out a seat, no problem. The display was flawless. Love the grips on it. I have this nice bump out, so real comfortable, and the hydraulic brakes worked flawlessly as well. The bell, junk. I don't know, it's not a very good brand, and it just doesn't ring good. So I don't know. I like a good bell, and that's not a very good one. The battery with supplied charger took around 6 hours to fully charge back up, and you know, hey, good for another 28 mile range. I mentioned I liked the gearing on this too, so when you're in the top gear, you can really give it good pedal assist. I don't know what that vibration just was. That was really deep. I don't know if you guys heard that on camera. Wow. All right, it sounded like a bomb just went off somewhere. As far as the rain penetration too, nothing got inside the display, but inside of here, you can see a little bit of water did get in. Otherwise, just a big old thumbs up on this bike. If I have any problems with it in the future, I'll definitely let you know in the comments. You got any questions about it, please feel free to ask. And otherwise, just want to thank you very much for tuning into these videos. I know the reviews on these bikes and power stations can get kind of redundant or repetitive over time, maybe a little boring, but hey, just trying these units out, letting you know what I find. Hopefully it helps some people out, and you know, it's just a secondary channel where kind of anything goes. Maybe I'll have to start a dedicated review channel in the future. With that being said, I will see you again very soon. No nonsense, know how, over out. What's going on over here?
I guess I just...
Oh, good boy. Next winner. You know, this dog is the worst when you're trying to make the bed. Gus, no, you gotta make the bed. He says no. If you fold the corners down, he pulls them back up. Gus, I gotta make the bed. Stop. There we go. All right. Okay, we go. Would you get out? He said, I don't like this blanket. It should have dachshunds on it. Not these ugly labs. What are these? And now he's out here running amok with Turbo. Turbo's going for the jugular. Get him, boy. Get him. Get him, Gus. Oh yes, and a quick look through the instruction manual so you guys can take a look at some of this stuff in case you decide on buying this bike or you have any questions. Just pause that if you guys want to view any more. I'll just kind of roll through this real quick. It's not too long of one. Well, I guess probably about 15 pages or so. This actually has a fair bit of information in it. That battery too, the last bar, red, I mean, might as well only have 4 bars because the last one, there's nothing there. Some specs for you. Since I don't believe I mentioned the weight. Maybe I did, I don't remember. 97 pounds. Wow, that's heavy. Big battery though. 20 amp hour battery. Yeah, you even get a wiring diagram. You don't see that too often. And just some precautions. Maintenance. Disclaimer. DYUcycle.com. Blank. And then there you go. That is their company. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully it helped you out.